Hey,
Hey
welcome back
everyone.
to Josh and Eliza.
On Fridays. I switched it up there, did you see?
I like it. It's one of those
Like that?
things
Yeah,
you come back like season after season and the intro changes.
just a little bit, yeah.
Well, we're excited to get into today's topic because it's one of the most, I think, giggle inducing topics for me. I might be alone in that though. Today we're talking
No.
about, see, we're laughing already. We're talking about syllables that we do not pronounce, even though the spelling might show you a vowel and a consonant and convince you that in the pronunciation you should take time with it. We're going to be talking about American pronunciations that blow right past that, take that syllable and just chuck it over the shoulder to create a streamlined, faster, smoother, stronger pronunciation.
I like
Well,
that streamlined concept because it's like taking a word and going, we're just gonna, you have five syllables? No, I only need three. Like,
exactly. Who
exactly.
needs them all? Who needs them all? So,
Certainly not our first candidate.
take it away. Who are we starting with?
Comfortable.
Oof. Yes.
Comfortable. So, and that the way, so it's spelled Comfortable. And some people keep the R in there, as you heard me do the first time, comfortable instead of comfortable. Comfortable. Some people, I think, might also soften that R quite a lot and then get comfortable.
I think when I say it, I'm going for a comfortable.
Hmm.
3 syllables.
Yeah,
Streamlined.
streamline. But keep that R, comfortable, and just put it in the next syllable. You
That's
know,
right.
just, yeah,
Shunt it down. That
yeah.
word to me is always, you'll hear often, I think, English speakers talk about the devices they come up with for remembering spelling because, like anybody, uh, we haven't got it all going all the time. We need little aids, little
Little
helpers,
reminders. Hmm.
reminders. Yeah. So I do have to say this out as a 4 syllable word. I have to say comfortable.
Hmm. Yeah. And just remember that the end is like table and that there's the word for in the middle, right? So COM for table.
Oh no!
Our
Our
spelling
table.
rules, they're non-existent and broken. Um, Funnily enough, we were talking about needing to sound words out in order to remember how to spell them with our next two as well. One is a day of the week, and one is a month of the year. So I thought maybe we could approach these together because who says Wednesday to remember how to spell Wednesday? I do.
I do.
I certainly do. Wednesday.
I do.
But we say Wednesday.
Wednesday. Mm-hmm.
Just kind of delete the vowel in there
Yeah, totally.
and do this NZ thing.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
And while I suppose there is a sort of, in my pronunciation, an unreleased D, like a when, like I make an
Hmm.
unreleased D and then go into an
Hmm.
N, I don't really hear it.
No.
It's almost like I've deleted the
Wednes.
D.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Wednesday.
see exactly what you're talking about. I kind of do the same thing. When there's like a little, there's a mini stop, but not the same as other words at the end where we do a like bed, BED. Um, it's a funny little word. The month of the year is my favorite to say out. February. February.
You say it beautifully.
I know. When, how do you say that, Eliza?
I say, well, when I have to spell it,
And
I,
you have to
s-
spell it.
I think I say it like that. I think that's one of those words where when I say it, I say February.
Mhm. Yeah,
February.
I do the same thing. We put a "y" in there instead of a "r."
And embarrassingly enough, I think this was one of those words that I learned how to spell. And then in our modern world, it's abbreviated so often. It's so often turned into FEB um, that I'd forgotten how to
There's
start.
supposed to be an R in there. That is one that I often misspell if I don't say it with the funny R in it. I will spell it Febuary. Um, you know, English, American
English.
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 Yeah,
That's what happens when your language's spelling is so divorced from your language's pronunciation.
pronunciation.
You really start relying on.
You you need memorization tactics when you have to write it down. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
true. Very true. Or you can just start a new fashion and say February. And don't, though. Don't.
New trend, a new trend. Yes, please. If everyone does it, then I'm not alone. February. Let's make it catch on.
Yes. We'll make it a
Yes,
thing.
please.
Um, ooh, the next one is my favorite because it's a callback to our last discussion about the differences in pronunciations between the UK and the US and Canada. So in the US, the word family is most often pronounced with two syllables. Family.
Family. Unless you shorten it and say, hey, fam.
Hey, fam.
Hey, fam.
In which case, you don't have to worry about all those other syllables. However,
Exactly.
in the UK and a lot of accents of English, all three syllables are pronounced family.
Family.
Yeah, yeah. But if you're living in the US or Canada, why not say family? Why not? When in
Exactly. And just make that word a little shorter. You've
streamline.
got three, who needs them? Used to. Family. Yeah.
I feel like you and I are just taking these
Just
big
you
shears like
just
scissors.
exactly it's efficient, right?
It
you,
is.
you
It is.
you still know what I mean, and it's easier and faster to say. Family.
Uh, Efficiency is everything. And
Yeah.
I like to remind myself that the efficient, correct pronunciation of today was possibly the incorrect pronunciation of yesterday. But
hmm
that is the way that an accent evolves. Enough people decide that it's a better option, and
Like
just
February. If enough of us decide February is a better option, in 30 years, all the children will be saying it. So come on.
I love
I
it.
need people on my side here.
Get on this bus. Love it. Love it. What else shall we take our syllable shears to?
Well, there's another word where we similarly delete the I in the middle. So I just want to throw that one in quick. Business, business, as opposed to business, business, um, business. It's just two syllables. Even though we have that vowel spelled in the middle, we never say it.
Yeah.
Um, we have one that I love because it's used in so many compound words. And I also love that we, in the list, we put this word and then we put and all its children. That was me. I fully own it if Eliza doesn't want to
No,
claim
I think
any
it's
parts of this because I think that it's a good way to remember that the pronunciation of the word every stays the same when it's in a compound word. So everywhere, everyone, everything. So even though it's spelled Every, again, we take that vowel in the middle and we just go and we do every. Or Maybe some people feel the syllables differently and do every, but I
Fair.
kind of feel it like ev and re,
Yeah,
every.
that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. You're right. There's some maybe wiggle room there, but it's two. But
It's
it's only
only
two.
two syllables. That is the point. Every,
Streamlined.
every. Hmm.
Yes, and that simplifies your compound words, right? So you just hit those two
Yeah.
syllables and then all of the children. I like
Hmm.
it too. I like it too.
Yeah. Hey, Eliza,
Yeah.
what temperature is it today?
Oh, the temperature today is pretty mild. Pretty chill temperature.
Temperature. So here's another one. Um, temperature is how I say it to remember that it's spelled with P-E-R-A and not just P-R-A. Because we tend to say temperature, bruh. Um, but it's spelled with that vowel in there. Just take it out.
I feel like the claw machine is useful. Like I'm coming for the A, I'm gonna extract it.
Yeah,
Temperature. Temperature. Yeah, we really are like shearing away at that E
that
as well.
vowel in
That
there.
schwa.
Hmm.
Just go coming at it. Temperature. Temp temperature. Now, here's a funny other option. I hear increasingly the R taken out and a almost UK British schwa insertion temperature.
Temperature. Yeah, because who has time to do the roticity R there? Who has time for it? I vibe with that. I love it. Temperature. Temperature.
It's another
Just
option.
do a schwa. It's easier. Temperature.
Yeah.
Uh,
Uh, I, Josh and I are aware of the irony of us explaining these very complex rules and then saying, just do what's easier. We know. We know.
because it might not feel
Might not
easier,
feel
right?
easier.
Unless you have some time with it, right?
But Josh is right. There is a sort of a physical logic. And so
Hmm.
streamlining will at some point with more and more practice and more exposure feel simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the word interesting. I find this conversation interesting. Interest, as opposed to interest, when I have to release the tongue for the vowel and then go up to make the R again. Just keep the T and the R together. Interest, streamline, right?
Yep.
It's fewer movements, right, in the tongue. And so it's interesting that um, the muscle movements decrease in number and that we describe it as feeling easier, even though it might not immediately feel easeful to someone who's really working on it, right?
I think you're right. And if you want an extra bonus and this works for your brain, you could think of a ch. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's whatever process vibes. Interesting. Interesting. Both are going to be recognized. Interesting is perhaps fancier.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I would say it's a little fancier. I think I do the ch sound. Interesting. Yeah.
But
Because it's less muscular, it feels, even though it's a combined action. Now we're getting into the technical nature of the sound, but the ch always feels a little easier in my own mouth because it's less contact. There's like more space. Ch ch, as opposed to just like I don't have to think about the ch as much as I have to think about the t.
yeah, I have a
If that makes sense.
yeah. If you would like to see Josh and I nerd out hard on some of these speech actions, how they're made, what constitutes an action, what constitutes kind of co-articulation, let us know in the comments, nerds, and we will make you that video.
Yes. Yes, we will.
But, Josh, maybe the next time you and I discuss speech sounds, we should do it in a restaurant.
Restaurant. We can take a picture on our camera. Maybe we can order some chocolate.
If it's you and me, we're gonna order some chocolate.
Definitely.
Something on the table will be made of chocolate.
Chocolate.
I want to come back to camera. Can we talk about camera?
Yes, please. Let's talk about camera.
Camera. It is my favorite. It's my favorite of these words, and I'm not quite sure why. I think camera. I think it's because growing up in the place that I grew up, I only ever heard it as a 2-syllable word. Camera.
Yeah.
And so when I was first exposed to the spelling, I was like, this
is wrong.
Wrong.
Camera. And then I was that one who would purposefully put the vowel back in. Camera as a child. Not because it was funny to spell it, but because I was like, it's like February. Yes, I like taking pictures with my camera in February. I was that 9-year-old. All right. Just you all have a window into what it was like to deal with me as a child.
It's kind of beautiful, and yes, that is a clear window. I see that. So there are like delightful, whimsical, sides to playing with pronunciation, but we're hoping that by listing out these words, so we sort of take the drama or the mystery away from maybe some of your frustration. If you're coming up against this phenomenon and you're not sure when to drop a syllable.
Yeah.
What did we discover in our exploration today?
that in all of these words, it's an unstressed syllable. And it's usually the vowel that goes away, right? So in like every, we take away that middle vowel, which if we kept it, every would be a weak syllable. And so we just delete the weak syllable, every. In camera, it's the exact same thing. Camera. We just take away that extra movement in the tongue, that extra vowel, and we go. Camera. Interest. Wednesday, right? And so it's the word restaurant we used a little bit ago. It's the same thing. Restaurant. Right? So there's this unstressed syllable in the middle that's usually a vowel, usually a schwa. Sometimes I guess it could be an I, like in the word family. And we delete it. Now the word February, my favorite, is different because in that one we're changing a consonant. And so that one's a little bit of an outlier. We do keep the UA, February, when we say it, but we change the consonant R to a consonant yeah. So that one's the only one that's a little different. But in every other word that we've talked about, it's the vowel in the middle.
So now that you know this helpful hack, spend some time perhaps when the next time you come up against one of these pronunciation surprises, to remind yourself it's nothing too intimidating. Just a quick snip of one of those.
A quick streamline.
And while our gestures are adorable, they are also tied to something a little bit bigger, which is that if you physicalize the pronunciation in a part of your body outside of your vocal tract, it can be helpful.
Yeah, it's muscle memory, quite literally. Yeah.
Well, all right. That's all the wisdom we have time to share today.
But we've got more saved for next time.
That's right. And perhaps someday soon, we'll be coming at you from the same physical location.
Perhaps
Perhaps.
because I am relocating, I'm moving. So, and where I'm relocating to is much closer to where Eliza is physically located. So, we're hoping to get it together. Literally. There's
Literally.
another one. Literally, and come at you live, but from the same space.
So look forward to it. And as always, if you have questions or thoughts or a video you really want to see, leave us that comment. We'll do our best
Yes,
to
please.
respond. And have a great rest of your day.
Have a great day.